Back in black, but it's pink. The sleep shirt. Don't worry, I literally only go to sleep in it. I promise. My clothes are not just super dirty, you guys. I bathe, I shower, I work at a pool. I have to bathe every day. Point being, today I wanted to just make a little video about admitting when you cannot do things. I feel like there are a lot of people who are comfortable admitting that they can't do things, more so in a sense of not trying. Like when you ask a kid to do something, right, and the kid's like, "Oh, I can't," before he even tries. I think people are comfortable admitting that. I think more so like the person who needs attention, so they'll lie and say like, "Oh yeah, I got a girlfriend. She's just like lives in Canada." It's funny to laugh at in the moment, but it's really, I wouldn't say concerning because that guy's not gonna go murder anybody. But it's really interesting to think about why some people have the beyond inclination, almost need to do that. Not even just the lie, I guess it's more so the boisterous attitude or the, what would you describe that? I know there's a word for there somewhere. I'm usually the big word guy, but I got nothing. But no, I think it's just a really interesting thing to think about, at least to me. As you guys will see, I think about a lot of things, a lot, constantly. It honestly makes me think of my favorite scene from my favorite movie, Fantastic Mr. Fox, where the main character Foxys is like talking to his wife at this waterfall, right? And his wife says, "I don't care about the stealing. I don't care about the fact of you pushing these farmers. I don't even care about the little feud that you have that got our family killed. I mean, almost killed, not killed. Sorry. Um, I just want to know why, Foxy. Why did you lie to me?" And Foxy just says, "Because I'm an animal." He says, "Foxes are sly, cunning. I feel like if I'm not getting over on someone, I'm not being me. If I'm not presenting myself as this fantastic Mr. Fox for people to constantly marvel at, then who am I?" And sometimes it does make me cry, but it really does make me a little emotional sometimes thinking about it, or at least when I watch it, because it's so, I don't want to say poignant, but it's such a refreshing take on the whole "it's just the way I am," you know? Because, not to say like Foxy doesn't want to be this way, because obviously if he didn't want to be this way, he could change. But it's just the fact of he would even lie to his wife about something they used to do together. Like they used to steal like from the farms together. However, when they got caught in the trap at one of the, and there was a turkey or a chicken farm, something like that. She revealed to Foxy that she was pregnant, and then she said, "We can't do this anymore. Like we can't have this kind of life. We need to like settle down and like figure things out." And it was really nice moment, really nice scene, and I think about that applied to the people I was talking about, where I said like, some people feel this need to lie, or I think grandstand maybe applies, the word grandstanding. I think like they feel this need to like lie or grandstand about things just because insecurities. Obviously, anyone with a big ego typically is pretty insecure. But no, it's just interesting, this effect of I need to be impressive. I have to be impressive. Who am I if I'm not impressive? And I think a lot of people, not even just in our generation, I think a lot of people in general, but I think it's a lot more prevalent in our generation because obviously a lot more of us are online. But I think it's really interesting to see that a lot of people in our generation have a somewhat similar mindset, especially with how, like, if you ask people what they want to do, typically it's like an influencer or something like online. I mean, I'm pretty much sitting here doing the same thing, you know? So it's like, whatever. I'm literal case in point, you know? But it's interesting how a lot of us, I think, have the same perspective of if I'm not impressive, then who am I? I think some people are definitely better than others of saying that I'm impressive to myself and that's okay and that's all I need. And I think that's like an extremely amicable point to reach in life because it's hard to be comfortable with yourself, but to be comfortable with yourself enough to display that to other people and not really care about the feedback that you get, I think is an extremely strong thing that a lot of people don't really carry. But that's not like a, oh, society is terrible, you know, all that crap. It's just like a, just an observation, I guess. Like, it's just really interesting for me to think about just the whole fact of we live in a generation where, on some level, almost everybody wants to be famous for something. And I think it's cool, like, the drive for everyone to want to be seen. However, I do think when we start to chase it like hunger, it can ruin us. But that's all I really had on that. Just a short little blurbing of my little thoughts on that. I don't even really know why I was thinking of that, but I was. So, there's the video. Peasies!